We're going to start tonight with a story about a former Portland business executive who's accused of taking tens of millions of dollars from the companies that he controlled. It's a question of ethics and probably morality and right versus wrong. And it's our big story tonight. This is a story that's very current and at the same time dates back 20 years to Portland business dealings and a man named Andrew Wiederhorn. The headline in the Oregonian newspaper says it all. Wiederhorn indicted again, accused of taking $47 million out of companies he controlled. Now, for those of you who don't know, Andrew Wiederhorn was a real Portland whiz kid. He grew up here with a single mom and became a self-made multimillionaire at a very young age. With this new indictment, the government is accusing him of taking millions of dollars in bogus loans over the decades from the companies that he controlled, loans which were then kind of, forgiven. The government argues that money was really income, money that he should have paid taxes on, but did not. His lawyers, by the way, say he did nothing wrong. This is file video of Wiederhorn there on the right from about 20 years ago. Oregonian reporter Jeff Manning covered Wiederhorn almost from the beginning.
Boy, I can tell you a lot more than you ever want to know. I've been following him since the early, believe it or not, the early 90s. And he's a newsmaker. You got to give that to him.
Absolutely. Manning says Wiederhorn made a lot of money as a young man.
He's a local kid. I believe he went to Lincoln High School, and I believe he's told the story many times of how he was either a busboy or a waiter at John's Meat Market, a long-shuttered restaurant up in Northwest Portland. He liked the buzz. He liked the people that he helped order, and he was really, really brilliant. And he started a company in his 20s and built it into a multi-million-dollar operation. It's called Wilshire Financial, and for a while it seemed like the real deal.
Eventually, Wiederhorn and his wife at the time bought this mansion in the West Hills and then poured millions of dollars into renovations. When it was done, it included a full-size basketball court for his 6 kids. Jeff Manning clearly remembers in the early 2000s when Wiederhorn's bubble burst and he was indicted by the feds.
Many of the same allegations that he was loaning himself money out of the corporate treasury and not paying it back. But there was a different twist on that first one in that he was charged with paying an illegal gratuity to his co-conspirator, Jeff Grayson, the late Jeff Grayson, who was a very prominent money manager in town. They would help each other out. Jeff would loan Andy money. Andy would help out Jeff however he could. And it was the only problem with the whole scheme was the point of it was to hide the fact that Jeff had loaned Andy $160 million, or at least to their company, and they didn't pay it back. And Grayson hid it from his clients, and then it all came out, and it was just a huge scandal.
Now, this is video of a younger me and a younger Jeff Manning following lawyers out of federal court after one of the many court hearings on the issue. Wiederhorn was convicted of paying an illegal gratuity to Grayson and filing a false tax return. Wiederhorn insisted then he did nothing wrong, but he did go to federal prison for 14 months. And controversy followed him even into prison when the board of another company that he ran, called Fogcutter Capital, decided to pay him a bonus of $2 million. Now, coincidentally, that was the exact same amount the government had fined him. And Fogcutter also paid Wiederhorn a salary while he was locked up. When he got out of prison, Wiederhorn and his family moved to Southern California, where he became the CEO and controlling shareholder of a publicly traded company called Fat Brands, Inc. Its involvement in the it is involved in the restaurant industry.
They pick up and leave Portland and go to LA, and he starts anew. And then you really got to hand it to him that he is motivated and ingenious, and he was able to claw together enough money to start buying these small struggling restaurant chains. And And all started with Fatburger, which I'm told was a really popular burger joint in urban Los Angeles. And from there, he just went on this buying spree, and everything from round table pizza to hot dog on a stick.
Jeff Manning's story in the Oregonian refers to this new federal indictment, which spells out much of the government's case against Wiederhorn. In the indictment, the feds accuse Wiederhorn of a pattern of hiding payments to himself in the form of shareholder loans from his company starting way back, like 30 years ago. That was back when he was in Portland. The feds noted the loans totaled $65 million. It also accuses Wiederhorn of forgiving himself those loan debts, basically Wiederhorn deciding he did not need to pay back that $65 million. The feds argue that by 2010, Wiederhorn was back at it again with the two new companies. Over 11 years, they accuse him of taking bogus loans totaling $47 million now from the companies for his personal benefit. The feds say that was actually pay and that Wiederhorn should have reported that to the IRS and paid taxes on it. Sound familiar? The indictment also alleges that Wiederhorn decided the amount, timing, and form of extensions and forgiveness of his loans. Finally, the indictment alleges Wiederhorn and his family used the money for their personal benefit, including private jet travel, vacations, a Rolls-Royce Phantom, other luxury automobiles, jewelry, and even a piano. Now, as you might imagine, several law enforcement types had a lot to say about Mr. Wiederhorn after he was indicted. The U.S. Attorney for Central California said instead of looking out for shareholders, the defendant allegedly treated the company as his personal slush fund. The IRS special agent in charge in L.A. said the allegations contained in the indictment against Mr. Wiederhorn show that he is a serial tax cheat. Wiederhorn is charged with wire fraud now and other financial crimes. He was also separately indicted for being a felon in possession of a firearm. He's pleaded not guilty to all of that. Also, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filed a civil lawsuit against Wiederhorn, his company, and two other executives. Wiederhorn's attorney had this to say: "We look forward to making clear in court that this is an unfortunate example of government overreach and a case with no victims, no losses, and no crimes." So, there you have it. A former Portland business whiz kid now indicted in California for allegedly taking $47 million out of companies that he controlled. By the way, before we move on, I want to celebrate and thank Jeff Manning from the Oregonian. In June, he told me he's retiring from the paper after almost 40 years. He is a top-notch business reporter, and our community has long benefited from his insightful, hard-hitting reporting. Enjoy your retirement, Jeff. Now, for the rest of you, what do you think of Andrew Wiederhorn? Send us an email, will you? The address is thestory@kgw.com, or call and leave a voicemail. The number is 503-226-5090. I look forward to hearing from you.